All right, this is straight out of the comments. I thoroughly 95% of everything in the lyrical content the first time through I heard the artist. I got things that juiced and flowing, talking and blowing, all cool kind of deal. Hopefully. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I want to go with the lyrics. Shut up and listen.
Everything meant for good is being used for evil. Everything meant for good is being used for evil. Flawed technology, universal dichotomy, malicious policies, part of the fulfillment of prophecy. Morally corrupted, experiments are conducted. Our impoverished state has been intricately constructed. Gullible people tricked by the ones who shouldn't be trusted. Some were to be the guinea pigs, others would be the puppets. Efforts to twist our brains be done in open plainly. Science and medicine being utilized inhumanely. The people with control of the system, they be the evilists, deceiving us with poison ingredients that they're feeding us. Oh. These are just a few of the treatments they put.
So, I mean, just in case it'll poison us with the ingredients they're feeding us, for sure picking up on every line. So, that's so far, I wouldn't argue a single point.
Humanely, the people with control of the system, they be the evilists, deceiving us with poison ingredients that they're feeding us. These are just a few of the treatments they put the frequent use, and what they seek to do is remove your power to reproduce. Falsely educated.
Oh, when was this put out? Because it's not just, I mean, it's, is that the right one? Let's make sure we, if this is fire to you, please go give the comments. Look, there's 10 comments here. It's add 5 more if it's something you get behind and you think it's good. I'm just saying, we're gonna keep going because I'm a minute in. I don't want to blow my shit early.
Your children, you think you saving them. Nothing was wrong with your baby till you vaccinated him. He's like a war victim in the MMR.
Oh, just so everybody who requested this artist and the people who ride the bus know, you could ask the people who've been around the longest. I mean, I already got the warning, right? I have medical misinformation warning. So let's just say I've learned my lesson, and this is where the artist could tell you. The artist could tell you a lot more than I'm allowed to.
Wrong with your baby till you vaccinated him. He's like a war victim in the MMR prison, cause the shots from these vicious frauds gave him autism. No matter what the doctor's speaking, the sickness only deepens. Diseases are needed just to keep profiting from the treatment. Everybody's consuming them.
But then I've talked about that doctor curing the big ones and the lawsuit, the rapper who was going to do the video on it. Now this is cryptic, but everything I just said leads to a place that's very interesting if you can find it. But it's also part of that, the big no-no conversation. Just like I believe the universal tonic. Just a big no-no. Not supposed to, the alkaline nature of your existence versus acidic, I think it is. Big no-nos. We're not... Those conversations are, that's why the ducky's up front. But, freedom over fear, and that fear is just right there. It's always by you. Right? Ooh. Now, that's just a kick-ass comic book, but you know what I'm saying. Metaphorically, I think it all works when you, Okay, it's probably not as deep as I think it is. Or maybe.
Fraud gave him autism. No matter what the doctor's speaking, the sickness only deepens. Diseases are needed just to keep profiting from the treatment. Everybody's consuming them, never become immune to them. Straight injecting humans with mercury and aluminum. Harvesting your organs are raw and a savage thing. And feminizing the men with the chemical atrazine. They placing it in the water and soon it becomes apparent. And its mission is to trigger all.
Did you see? I believe this made it out there into the real world. Water, they want to get rid of the bottled water, probably because of forever plastics or something. But I'm thinking it's actually because, like the guy from Nestle said years ago, it's not a right. They need to control that water. That's one of those weird fringe dystopian topics that they actually Tank Girl and some other. Hey, and Tank Girl connects to the gorillas and to the whole other. Yeah, right there. I don't give a fuck what side of the fence an artist is on. If it's cool shit, it's cool shit. You should have every right to listen to it and think about it and disagree with it or agree with it. But that how dare you crowd, we got to stop listening to them. We got to fucking drown them out. This is fire ass good.
They placing it in the water and soon it becomes apparent. And its mission is to trigger a hormonal imbalance. They use the people just like lab rats and lab monkeys. Self-monitored robotic social media junkies. And keeping everyone in one pool is their intention. Like fools we enlist to be tools of their inventions. So simultaneously they can keep an eye on society. Cause people using Facebook and Twitter as open diaries. Autobiographies of debauchery. Not knowing that there's someone in their headquarters watching these. And we divulge our whole...
Okay, I know it's a loose connection. But that's the love the one you're with, hippie utopia, everyone running around banging each other, debauchery. I'm kind of... We all know, because I hope we all understand how far it goes out there and what sort of actual atrocities the fringe of society have tried to film and post and are engaged in. And it's, this is nothing but a sermon.
Not knowing that there's someone in their headquarters watching these. And we divulge our whole life situation, no moderation. Willingly giving information up with no provocation. Then what? What's on the TV, you believe every clip. Then from CNN and Fox News, they read you the script. And just because they show you something, still don't guarantee.
Yeah, and that's I bet that's what it's going to get to. Because I might like certain influencers, entertainers, or talking heads, reporters, journalists, whatever. See, if I say one thing, it's always the other. It's whatever you want to call it. I'll keep thinking about it the way I think about it because you don't live my life. But I like people out there. I'll listen to influencers or talking heads telling me shit. And some of it I really, really like. Does it mean it's right? Hell no. I don't believe flat earth, but I like watching that. I just watched fucking Antarctica with Ange again. Why? Because Joe Rogan, they're talking about the map that supposedly has Antarctica on it. But then there's also the other side that it's odd how the description of Antarctica describes the South American shoreline. Now, I'm not saying either one is right. I'm saying I think it's all interesting. And I'm like, hey, honey, come here. Let's watch some shit on Hollow Earth. The pyramids of Antarctica. That's 2 a.m. YouTube fucking gold, baby. That is top 10 holes you can see from space.
Provocation, then what? What's on the TV, you believe every clip. Then from CNN and Fox News, they read you the script. And just because they show you something, still don't guarantee it. Gotta be skeptical to believe it, even when you see it. So many versions of what happened and options to put it. They can manipulate.
This is fire for 4 years ago. It's hits right on current events. Oh, Woody and his monologue, and that I didn't think about that right. But now that I read more about it, he's probably right. That delivery, he kept you hanging to the end. Got to shout out to the stoners who. What are we going to be hypocritical here? Come on, shout out to all the stoners watching now. But they got to talk about that scripted shit, and then the next morning, like a coordinated attack. We're just saying this 4 years ago. I said, some of us can go all the way back to when it was just hidden on college campuses for the first times that the the behaviors, antics, and rhetoric started spilling out. Just remember that. Here's a pretty insightful bunch of bars from 4 years ago, it looks like. And this narrative is a decade plus. Well, it's you know, I think it's, you know, centuries in the making. But to be fair, it's, you know, been brewing for a lot longer than any of us could really debate. So just very cool, very interesting, very on point. What a great way to start the day, especially after I had to admit that I have my own anger and other issues. Well, when the game and the cards are always stacked against you, it's probably okay to be a little pissed off. It's how you deal with that anger and release it. Right, there's the thing. If the check valve isn't right, get that replaced with the correct check valve, right? I had a mosh pit to this, to that, to, I don't know. You got to pick yours. I can't give it to you, but it's got to be a appropriate release valve.
Guaranteed, gotta be skeptical to believe it, even when you see it. So many versions of what happened and options to put it. They can manipulate the storyline and doctor the footage. They spying on citizens using unscrupulous means. Meanwhile, we use our smartphones to do the stupidest things. To the point of them destroying us, we seem to be close. And they study your mind based on the things that you post. Mentally engineered self-hatred deep from within. Body implants, plastic surgery, and bleaching your skin. Then we weekly defend acts that place us in the slow grinder. Cause the worthless things that we major in are so minor. Sophisticated killers now conspiring a plot. They skillfully assassinate you without firing a shot. Could be an activist, they hate a politician in office. The murders of them all are marked down as natural causes. Tampering with the forces of nature, they sick and remorseless. Silent executors poisoning the planet's resources. Generations of violations, irreparable damages. Technology misused for military advantages. Television programming that programs who watches it, hypnotizing us all from intelligence to the opposite. It's mostly done for control and proceed. Genes pumped into animals to double their growth speed. The invention of spy drones that see.
Hey, the reality. There's, you know, consequences. Oh, they're gonna put the spiky stuff. I fear they put that in the food and the water, which is already an established tinfoil deal. I'm not making that up. I'm just saying I don't believe it. You know, I don't wink.
The invention of spy drones that see in your place, plus cameras and satellites that can spot you from space. Facial recognition devices.
There's one of the fucking best arguments I have with people. How come it's so, like, they believe every time they're showing this grainy bullshit, lead you by the balls or the whatever you girls are led by, and just drag you into here. Believe this grainy shit photo. But we can read your cell phone from space for somehow if we really need to stick it to you. But shh, we're not going to tell you. Like, I find it weird that we're on the cusp of, I was wrong. It's unidentified anomalous phenomenon, UAP. Yeah, but I watched supposedly like a declassified picture of a sphere from like a war zone off a military declassified picture. Now as a Russell Brand, I mean, it's not hard to find. It's not something secret. It's just on the fringe of what people think is either true or not true. I watched it, and I find it ironic that they control and lead the people around with this low-res version of reality when I gotta believe the tech is so fucking next level that you couldn't comprehend it. And I only go with Boston Dynamics. Yeah, they're robots. The jumper, the crawler, all the drone tech. I mean, how close aren't they? Don't they have manned drone flyables pretty quick? The Cheetah, the Pet Man. Come on. But then they stick a low grain resolution of some shit picture in your face and say, believe this? Ignore the fucking killer robots we're building? Hey, look at the cute robot dogs that didn't dance around. Hey, they're going to put your fucking dishes away. Is that what they're going to put away? Your dishes?
Double that growth speed, the invention of spy drones that see in your place, plus cameras and satellites that can spot you from space, facial recognition devices, RFID chips, anything used for evil, Satan's world is equipped. Flawed technology, universal dichotomy, flawed technology, universal dichotomy, flawed technology, universal dichotomy, malicious policy, part of the fulfillment of prophecy.
Play hardball. I saw something the other day. I'll go off into flawed technology. K-RINO. I hope that's is it Reno. K-RINO. If someone could put me in my place on that, it's hard. I can only do so many comments. Okay, so I don't want to get lost. I saw something the other day, and now this is gonna be weird. I know how I tell stories, and they're fucking complicated. Starts out with a movie years ago. So first you'd have to look up Thank You for Smoking. It's a huge, huge first story item in my life. It's a great movie, great script. Takes all the tobacco science and bullshit of all that and wraps it into this story where you can pad your rhetoric and storytelling really well if you watch that movie and take it to heart. But at the end, he makes a reference to cell phones and the possible interconnection between cell phone signals and, let's say, our mushy brains and our soft tissues and our nervous systems and all these other components that make up us, the person. Okay, so that is at the end of that movie. Weird. So the crazy person in me from that time on has always really considered the possibilities. Not because the movie makes it true, because it puts it in this circulating deal. It's like, I got a whole box for shit like that. Let's just keep contemplating that shit at all times. Then, notice of liability and that movement and microburst technology, microburst energy coming from your smart meters, the movement to keep those out of communities. You can look that up. It's a real thing. It exists. I didn't invent it. I just know I watched all the documentaries. I signed up for the paperwork. And I think that's as far as we got because we don't have that tech out here. So I wait until that tech's installed around me. Now, flash forward to now, I'm pretty sure you'd have to dig because I don't remember where I saw it. And I could have saw it on the fringe of my, let's say, Twitter feed. The I can see stuff, but when I try to find it again, I can't find it. I don't know what to call it, and I don't retweet it. I know it's on the fringe. Even I have to wait till it comes around more. I heard, and here's the big final, last minute. Now, I don't know if this is true, and you can look up for it. But I heard there was a board, a meeting, some study, some whatever the F you want to call it. And it was, if cell phone technologies, the Internet of Things, and 5G, that whole deal, I think mostly 5G, was introduced today as a new technology, it would get banned across the board for being detrimental to your health. But because it comes from grandfathered in technology, right? The phone. That's just a phone in your hand. What did the inventor of the cell phone just say? Possibly regrets or sees complications with his creation. I thought I read that too. Now, I could be 100% wrong on what I just said. I think it's all tinfoil hat crazy stuff. Could be real. I don't know. Maybe I didn't remember it right. Maybe I read it wrong. Maybe I'm engaged in systems that are built on flawed technology and I don't know my ass from a hole in the ground. I know this was fun and a good way to start the day. We're going now. Yeah, here it is. If you made it this far, I'm going to put a link to a video. Now, I was pretty pissed off at the hippies and pretty angry. And it's a Linda Ronstadt tune. Well, this is the spot. This is the link. And it's the only place I'm going to put it. It's unlisted. Yeah. Hopefully, if you find it, leave a comment on it. That will sneak it out there for possible views. But I'm not going to put no tie. I was angry. But with this being what it was, I would highly recommend checking it out. I mean, I think we're here. And why pretend we're not? Later.